I'm George Simon. I teach the director case study class on Christopher Nolan. This is the type of class that I would love to have taken. It's a chance for students to look at the work of a really successful Hollywood director, specifically Christopher Nolan. I think that Christopher Nolan is a really fascinating director to study because he started off as a completely independent filmmaker. This gives the students a chance to study what one filmmaker did to be successful and then think, how am I going to innovate in the time that I'm working and living as a storyteller to grow and find success? So the actual structure of the class is that every week the students are watching a film directed by Christopher Nolan and then write a brief written reflection where they kind of distill down all of the things that they noticed about the film.
Then when we meet that week, we just have a group discussion about it.
Disagreeing with the people who either didn't like or liked the movie, those are always the best. There was one class when we watched The Dark Knight Rises. That was actually the most divisive film out of all of them. And I was so frustrated with the reasons why people didn't like the movie. And I mean, that's also a testament to Simon. He made me passionate about the class.
George Simon is amazing. He made this class, I looked forward to going to this class every week because George Simon always had so much enthusiasm and wisdom to bring to the discussions.
It's an awesome class to be able to offer to students because Christopher Nolan is one of my favorite directors, and so I love studying his work to try to discover insights into directing and how I can become a better director.
The class was very Socratic in the sense that we were talking about how we felt about the filmmaker. It's mostly about what can you learn from Christopher Nolan.
Okay, so Inception is a well-known movie that I had seen before in high school. This time around watching it, I had a totally new perspective on it and appreciation for the values and what Christopher Nolan was actually trying to say in this film.
There are interesting, consistent aspects of the way that Christopher Nolan tells stories. He's not trying to constantly reinvent himself, and for us as filmmakers, specifically people who want to be directors, it's okay to know these are the kinds of stories that I love to tell. These are the ways that I can be effective as a storyteller, and to lean into those and not feel self-conscious that we have to do something more or something different or reinvent the way we tell stories with every new project.
We had to do a case study on a director of our choice. That was the main assignment for this class.
The students in the class choose their own director that inspires them, and they basically do a mini case study based on the format that we have in class to study Christopher Nolan.
I picked Greta Gerwig and Noah Baumbach. Both share stories that are very personal, and that's the type of stories that I like to tell as a filmmaker and storyteller too, so that's why I chose these directors, because they inspire me.
But I ended up choosing Guy Ritchie. And I just ended up having fun because, a professor is asking you to study a person that you admire, a person that you'd like to emulate in your own career. That's not homework. That's just having fun while learning while you're at it.
The insights that I hope that students take away from this class is that they will be able to analyze the successful career of Christopher Nolan and then think about how are they going to find success within the industry.
The thing I learned the most from both of them is to not be afraid of your ideas. And so it was learning to bake on your ideas, but also make the films your own, because we've already seen every story. But it's your story is what's going to make it different. So it was learning from these two different directors in this class to really sit back and think to myself, I am worth it. Even if it may not do well, at least I put myself out there and at least I put myself into this film.
For our students, I hope that they take an understanding that if they can master storytelling and if they can write screenplays that respect their audience and gives a level of trust to the audience and tell stories that are challenging and unique, then they will resonate with people.
Rose and Raven is a short film that follows a teenage girl and her journey of becoming friends with a deaf boy. She struggles to leave the confines of her comfort zone even though she dreams of studying astronomy. This story means a lot to me because it's based on a friendship that I had when I was a kid. When I was 9, I had just moved